So thank you guys actually for tuning for this webinar series. So we have been conducting this webinar series actually every Wednesday for quite a few sessions. So my name is Shareinvestor. I'm Group Managing Director of Shareinvestor and also founder of Investing Note. So just a disclaimer before I start. So all the things I share today is not a financial advice. So I might use some of stocks as an example, but it's actually for information purpose. So you should consult your trading representative for any financial advice if necessary. So what is shareinvestor.com? So shareinvestor.com is an essential investment tool for all investors and traders. And we are happy to announce that we have launched the new shareinvestor.com last Saturday. So if you are Shareinvestor existing members, so you should already seen the platforms. So if you go to shareinvestor.com, you are able to see the new look and feel, and if let's say you need some time actually to use familiar actually with the new platform and want to go back to the previous platform, you can still use the classic.shareinvestor.com. It's still available over there. And we have received quite a lot of good feedbacks from our users. And thank you so much actually, for giving us all the feedbacks and suggestions in order to make the platform better. And rest assured that we are working on all the suggestions you guys are giving back for us. And then we are actually going to progressively release some of those new enhancements for all of you guys. So under shareinvest.com, we have quite a lot of features. In the previous webinars, we cover some of the things like a fact sheets, portfolio watch list. And today, actually, we are going to cover stock screeners. So what is stock screeners? Stock screeners is an advanced screening tools for traders and investors to find opportunities in the stock markets. So I put traders and investors because it's not just for fundamental analysis, but it's also for technical analysis as well. And it's actually, you can actually base on own customized actually search criteria, or you can, use some of those predefined criteria from our platforms. So with this, basically, you are able to find some opportunity in the markets and see that is there any stocks that fall under the criteria? Is there any stocks that you think it's actually possible to invest or trade in the markets? So the screener is all about that. Why do we use Shareinvestor screeners? So there's a few scenarios, for example, right, in terms of criteria. A lot of actually screeners out there, maybe they cover only, fundamental analysis, all those financial ratios, but, some platforms maybe cover TA, but we cover quite a few things like, FA, all the financial ratios, key ratios, financial results, technical analysis, so those are TA indicators. And also you can also use consensus estimates from the research analysts, which we have covered, for the consensus estimate on the previous webinars as well. So we can do things, a combination of these few. Like for example, right, you can say that, hey, show me counters, with, let's say, very low PE. You can define, what is low, right? And also, RSI, maybe over 70. So for those who don't know, RSI is basically one of the TA indicators to see whether there's a oversold or overbought. And this is one part of it. And in terms of data, right? So we are actually using real-time data. So if let's say you want to scan in the markets using some TA indicators like a golden cross in terms of moving average. Some platforms may provide you the data up to yesterday. But the thing is, the market may already moved today, and you might already miss the opportunity, or maybe the opportunity just came because of today's share price movements. So we are able to scan on real time to see that based on the current share prices, and does this criteria hit into what you are looking for. And then in terms of screening periods, so we can match it across multiple few periods, and it can be a combination of some snapshot, like what is the dividends year in the past 1 year. But you can also do period on period, like for example, that revenue growth over the past 3 years, is it more than 15% growth annually as well. So we can do that annually, period on period comparisons in terms of these criteria, and it becomes a very powerful. And the last part is actually we are able to help you to customize, and you can use the predefined templates, but then you can save it, you can change the criteria, and then save as a template. So next time when you want to use it, you can just load your templates and it can easily actually screen the results for you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, not so worry. Later I will do a demo to show you that how do you do this. So how do you access the screener? Under the new shareinvestor.com, on the top menu bar, we have this screener, you can see under this red pointers here. And then you can click on it, and it has actually three main submenus. First one is actually market screeners. So TA and FA both covered, predefined TA screens, and also intrinsic value analysis. So for market screeners, FA and TA, so if this is actually for you to screen based on both FA and TA, and as well as actually consensus estimate. So you can see from the screen shot over here, once you click add a criteria, you are able to choose what kind of criteria are you looking for. So we break down into a few categories. Like fundamental analysis covers those key ratios, revenues, all those financial results. TA, covers those TA indicators. Consensus estimates, as I shared, it covers those consensus estimates from the research analysts. And pricing, it basically covers, some numbers actually regarding the prices. Like for example, does the price hit 52 weeks high and or low for these indicators. Predefined TA screens. So basically for predefined TA screens, it's a screening results with a set of predefined TA criteria. So we predefine some TA criteria and then we scan, every day on that in the markets to find some opportunities over there. So it is pretty fast, when you look at a page, the result is already populated over there. So you can actually do more research for this, but this is actually purely for technical analysis. And last part is actually the intrinsic value analysis. So for this, basically, it's a calculator. They try to calculate the intrinsic value based on actually three popular valuation models. The first one is discounted cash flow model. It's actually very popular models. For those who have been investing in the markets for quite some time, I think you should probably heard about that, DCF. Discounted earnings model, basically it's a discount based on the earnings. And then the last one is a golden growth model. It's also named, the other name is actually dividend discounted models. So these are a few models, but what they're doing basically is to try to tell you, try to calculate for you, what is the true value of a stock. And that is the name of like intrinsic value. One of the key things for this is actually there's assumptions. In order to calculate for that, you need to have assumptions. And assumptions comes from you. So you must actually define some of those assumptions in terms of growth rate, discount rate, all those in order to calculate this intrinsic value. So later I will demo for this. So this is a brief introductions about these three key things. So let me go to the platform to do a demo. At the same time, if you guys have any questions, you can actually put under the Q&A sessions. So later I will address those questions over there. Okay, so this is the new Shareinvestor.com platform. Very nicely organized, very modern. So I hope you guys like it. So in order to go to the screener, so you go to here, screener. So let me start with this market screeners for TA and FA. So once it comes to this page, basically it presents you a few things. First thing is, if you don't know how to start, basically we actually have a few templates for you. These are called predefined templates. Like for example, buy on volume search, uptrend stocks. So these are predefined by us. But if you don't know what does it do, like for example, you can actually click on it to see it. Buy on volume search, for example. You click on it, and then you're able to see that this criteria is being populated over here. So how do you define that volume search? Like in this case, we put that moving average, crossover, short-term moving average, and this is long-term moving average. So if you're not familiar with this term, you can actually learn more about technical analysis, right? RSI, so basically it's another technical indicator to indicate whether that's oversold or overbought for the 14 days. It's below 30 days for one, So you can actually define multiple days. This is RSI, 14 days. below 30. So below 30 means actually it's a bit oversold, there's a lot of selling pressures for that. You can say in the past 1 day, or let's say continuously, let's say 5 days of ISI has been below 30 days. So this is how flexible actually our platform is, right? And then once you change your criteria, you can actually, just click on it. So it will reflect over here. And volume spike, the volumes, it has to be, let's say 1 times or 2 times. So you can define how many times actually, is it considered a surge, greater than the average of the past 100 days or 50 days. So you can customize for that. And then if let's say, you change for this, let's say you feel that maybe 1 times is not enough. So you have 2 times of the 100 days average. And this is the result. And then you can click screen now to screen for it. Because we are taking the real-time pricing to calculate, so it might take some time. But what I want to show you is after you load the templates and you change for that, and you can actually save as a new template, So we call it, let's say, volume search testing. So you can create this template. So next time you want to load for this, let's say I refresh this page. Then you want to load your save template, which is over here, you click on this. So the things you define just now, ISI, for 5 days, 2 times, it's all over here, so basically you can use these features to easily load the existing templates you have. So the other part is actually the portfolio series. So we define some popular portfolio series over here. So basically the criteria is also pre-populated. Things like, for example, dividends, trend following, so you can check out each of this. But let me just show you, like, for example, growth. Let's say a lot of people are looking for a growth company. So you can choose, there's a click growth. So it would show you that what are the criteria that we predefine for that. And again, you can actually customize for that and can change for that. So for this, we define as a revenue growth, 15% annually for the past 3 financial years. So every year you have to grow more than 15% of revenue. And then the other part is actually gross profit margin, so more than 25%, profit margin has been high, and continuously for the past 3 years. And you can choose up to 5 financial years. And then price upside for the consensus. So we also take in the consensus estimate. So just to recap, consensus estimate is those research analysts, ratings about the companies, whether it's a buy or sell, and what is the target price for that. So we take the average of that, so which is called consensus estimate. And the price upside has to be, let's say, more than 20% for this. So you can screen for this. But once you screen, there's one thing you need to take note is what market are you screening? Which is over here. So we have quite a few markets covered, right? Bursa, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Australia, all the markets over here, the edges markets, which is pretty default set here because based on my countries of accounts. And if I select edges ready and I screen now, basically it's actually screen for edges results over there. And this one is actually pretty fast. Based on criteria, there's only one stock over here. But if let's say you choose other markets, let's say maybe this market doesn't have much growth stock, then you can choose Bursa. Let's try. And this part is actually pretty fast. So it does have a few stocks come out, Gentem, Hibiscus. So once the results come out, right, what can you do? So you need to do further analysis whether this stock is worth investing or not. And things of, you want to verify this as well, that revenue, is it gross 15%, gross profit margin is more than 25%. So this is where you need to dive down into individual company. So let's take one example of Genting. So let's say you go to Genting over here. And then you go to financials, because we were talking about all the financials ratios just now, right? So we're talking about revenue growth. So you can look at revenues. So this is actually the past few years revenue. Okay, and then you can actually check the percentage growth. Every year, since there's a growth of revenue, year-on-year period growth is more than 15% for these counters. And again, this is not by recommendation. It's just to show you that what our platforms can do. Gross profit margin as well. So we have quite a lot of key ratios. So if let's say you are not sure where is it, you can actually search for that. Okay, gross profit. Okay, gross profit margin. So this is over here. So you can check this is actually the profit margin. We specify that it has to be more than 25%. So it does actually fall under this part, for the gross profit margin. So this is how you actually can, validate some of these informations, but don't just limit based on this. You can actually check other fundamental information about the company as well. And last part of criteria is we're talking about the consensus estimate. Is it more than 20% upside potentials? So you can go to consensus estimate. Okay, so let's check out the Jantin's consensus estimate. So Jantin listing Bursa Malaysia, right now share price is 3.97 ringgit. And based on the consensus estimate, the target price is actually $5.94. So the upside potential is based on this is actually 49%. Again, this is actually based on the research analyst actually ratings. And there are 13 of them actually cover this. So it does actually, fall under your criteria of the upside has to be more than 20%. But of course, actually, you can actually research more like why the research analysts actually giving this research ratings over here. This is where the buttons will show you, but I won't go detail on this. This is covered in another webinars. So if you're not sure, you can actually go to our blogs, .shareinvestor.com to check out the previous webinar. So after this, right, so you verify some informations and all those, and you want to see that, based on the results, which company actually should I invest in, right? So these are things actually you can do more. What you can do is, first thing is, if you feel that all this company is actually quite interesting and you want to actually monitor the share price, or maybe based on the TA is not the time to enter yet. And what you can do basically is you can add to watch list. Remember we shared that you have your watch list feature right now, so you can actually add to your watch list. So you can choose your watch list and add them into it. So these stocks, after you adding it, it will automatically be available under your watch list. So let me just show you. So the stock I added, Jantin Biscuits is actually available on the watch list. So you can start to monitor the stocks and to see that whether it's a good time to enter based on what you are looking for. And another part is actually, you can compare. So let's say you feel Janting is interesting, hibiscus is interesting. Then you can actually do compare as well. You can choose the two counters and compare them. And it brings you to the stock comparing page, where we'll compare some key things, the price, performance, based on the past few years. So you can see clearly, what's the performance of the stocks based on that, and what is the return, in the past. And then the consensus estimate, the details, from that for these two companies. And what's the upside difference between the two companies. And then some of those key ratios, financial results, all this is actually available, so for you to do more detailed, analysis about a company. And at the same time, actually, because you have a list of results, so you can actually use the analysis tool. So it will show you that based on your screen results, is there any opportunities actually for you. So one glance, you can check out the historical watch for the prices based on the screen results. Volume distribution charts as well, so which is the popular features to show you that whether the big institutions are buying and selling for the counters. So you can actually, use this to find that is any counters that is interesting based on your preset criteria. These are sectors, based on the results, showing how many stocks actually fall under different sectors. And consensus estimate, so it populate, these few stocks under the consensus estimate to show you that, based on the consensus estimate for these few stocks, how is it, and if you look at here, potential upside to the right side means such a higher potential upside. And if it's go up, it means such as a buy rating from the analyst. So the top right corner generally means it has higher potential ratios, based on the research analyst ratings, So this is for you to do more research on this. Okay, so if let's say you screen this really, based on FA, just now I shared that we can actually combine based on FA and TA. So you can even add some criteria as well. Like, I don't want to just focus on this fundamental analysis. I want to focus on some TA as well. This is actually where you can actually choose some TA indicators. Let's say growth stock, ISI, maybe it's oversold, maybe there's opportunities. So you can choose the ISI and you have to define, maybe 14 days RSI, below 30, usually is considered as oversold, maybe for the past 1 day. So then after that, you can actually start screening for the results. And with this, basically, it's a combination of FA and TA. And after that, you can do a wide share, do more analysis based on the results you have. Okay, another part of this screener is you can actually screen based on your portfolio or watch list. So if let's say you have quite a few stocks under your watch list really, you have actually populated a few stocks inside watch list. And then you want to do further screening based on the criteria, to further streamline your watch list and opportunity. You can do so. Just to take note that once you choose a watch list, you can't choose a portfolio. So it's either from your watch list or either from your portfolio. And then our screener right now actually allows you to screen one stock market at a time. So once you choose a watch list, and then inside I have let's say US stock, Singapore stock, and Malaysia stock. It will actually based on your filtering over here. So only let's say in this case, you put some Malaysia stock being screened over here. And one more thing is actually some people might notice that screeners, sometimes might be very fast, sometimes might be slow. It's also because, depends on how many, counters, are there potentially. Like for example, if you choose a stock exchange, there's a lot of counters like Hong Kong and US. Just be patient. It might take some time. So grab a cup of coffee and then wait for the results to come out. But at the same time, actually, we are working to see how we can improve this experience as well. Okay, so let me go to the next part, which is actually predefined TA screener. So for predefined TA screener, basically is as I share. So we predefine those screening results. And right now it's actually available for Singapore and Bursa markets. So for other markets, it's not available yet. So we are still working on that. So in this case that we are using this Singapore market as example, most long signals. So it means that, well, based on screening results, there are 8 signals to show that this could be a potential long. But again, disclaimer, this is actually based on the TA results. It's not a recommendation. But you can see actually, what it's about, why there are 8 results over here. So you can see, Bollinger Bands, shows to be bullish, and MACD, crossovers. So this is also a bit bullish indicators, based on TA analysis. Price have a hit 52 weeks high. So it looks like it's breaking out from this 52 weeks. So these are signals actually to tell you that it looks like it's actually bullish, but you must always do your own analysis to see that, hey, does this actually, match your criteria of investing? So the screener can help you to screen based on potential results, but ultimately the decision lies on you guys to do more analysis and make your own judgments. On the other part, there's an individual TA condition as well. So there's quite a lot of them. Some users might be actually quite interested in, let's say, candlestick patterns. So this is actually quite popular under TA technical analysis. So we can scroll down to see that. Okay, let's see. MACD. Okay, let me see. There's a candlestick patterns over here. So bullish engulfing, bullish hammer, bullish harami, sixth. Let's just try one examples here. So bullish harami basically it means just a very quick one. So harami in Japanese means it's actually pregnant. So it means that well, it's a candlestick. You have a in a downtrend, but there is a slightly bullish candle that is actually showing over here. So just me give you one example. You click on that, you will show your results, right? So there's a few of them. Let me choose, let's say Yang Zijiang, I want to go to the charts. So I click quick link. So this is actually Yang Zijiang, right? So bullish harmony means actually over here, less recently there's a downtrend actually for Yang Zijiang over here. But this one is actually to identify whether there's a potential trend reversal. So in here, there's a bullish candle over here, but it will actually, engulfed by this bearish candle. It's become a small body inside over here. So it looks like it's like a pregnant lady, holding these babies over here. So this is actually what does it mean, bullish harami. And after this, today it does actually shows a bit of movements for this Yang Zijian. And for those TA technical analysis traders, actually, this candlestick patterns is used as a way to judge, is this potential trend reversal or not. But usually they will actually couple with other kind of TA indicators as well to see that what can they do with this. Okay, so I covered predefined TA screens. So the last part I want to share is actually intrinsic value and analysis. So as I shared, this is actually based on a few popular models. So, but for things you must choose the counters. So just now I was checking out Genting. So it's actually pre-populate here, Genting stock. So you can check out the current price first, based on the current price trends. So you get a top view about the counter's performance first. Then you can choose the models, discounted earnings model, discounted cash flow models, and golden growth model. So I just use one example, like for example, discounted earnings models over here, right? So in this case, once you populate here, we'll actually populate some data for you, like earnings per share. Okay, if you click on that, it will share with you, right? Oh, based on last financial result, this is the earnings per share for Genting. That's why we put the numbers here, EPS growth rate, right? So based on industries, average for the 2 year or 3 years or 5 years, this is the percentage, growth potential growth rate. But essentially, you are actually projecting that in the next 10 years, the company can continue to grow, based on this percentage, So it's assumption that you guys made. If you think that it's not possible, so you can actually reduce the EPS to calculate the potential intrinsic value. And then same thing for the years of growth as well. You are based assumption that it can continue to grow in the next 10 years or 15 years. And then with these numbers, basically, you need to discount back to the present value. So this is actually the financials, about, what does it mean? You're discounting all the futures cash flow earnings back to the present value. And if you're not familiar with all this, actually, you can actually read out more. There's a lot of information online to share with you that what does this model do. You also need to assume what is the discount rate. So usually it's actually the risk-free rate, the interest rate and all those to calculate what is the interest value. And terminal growth rate. So basically is, usually we exclude for that, but if you include, it means actually you assume that that kind of growth is perpetual, so it might result into much higher intrinsic value for that. So with this, basically it pre-calculated for this for you. So for Genting, intrinsic value right now we calculate is 3.994. The current share price is about 4. So it's actually quite similar, in terms of that. But you can see that if you choose different models, the value is actually very different. So it depends as well. Like for example, banking sectors, it might not be so appropriate to use the cash flow model because they have to use a lot of cash to loan out and all those. And maybe the earning model is actually more popular and more reasonable for that. But again, this one you might need to seek some financial advice to see that how you want to do this. But what I want to show you is how to interpret this the colorful things over here. So this is actually a current share price, Genting for 4. But based on discount cash flow, we calculate, let's say this is $11 over here. So if let's say you believe that, it can grow the cash flow rate, in the future is 6%, for the next 10 years. And this, what does it mean is right now, based on current price, is in this green bar area. So it's actually, fall under the undervalue because the interest value is 11 over here. But if let's say you choose other models, right? Discounted earnings models over here. So based on the things we change. So current share price is 4, but interest value, fair value is 280 over here. So right now it fall under this yellow bar. It's just about the fair value over here. But it can actually overvalue or it can be undervalued based on the results you calculate. So it gives you a quick glance actually, the company right now, what kind of status it is right now, And for other models, basically, you can actually check out as well. This one is a dividend growth, discounted models, but you must assume, all these ratios as well. Okay, so I have come to the end of my demo. So I hope you guys learned something. And then you can also check out the P analysis. Sorry, that's last part, which should show you that based on the sector, what other companies are performing, so you can actually check out as a peer comparisons as well. Okay, let me come to the Q&A sessions. Okay, there's one question actually from MY Thai. So he's asking, can we set up more than one watch list? Yes, actually, you can set up actually multiple watch lists. There's actually no limits, and you can add many stocks inside as well. As many stocks as possible. You want to add it over here. So you can set one for US, one for Malaysia, one for Singapore. For that. Okay. Jason is asking for TA screener. Is a price data based on end of day or the day before? So I shared actually for the screener under the FA and TA, basically is you are actually screening based on real-time results. So that's why it take a bit of time to actually calculate some of those and results. But if let's say you are actually doing the predefined TA screens, so this is actually based on the previous days of data. So you can see actually, over here. So the data of page is actually update every day at 9 p.m. So every day 9 p.m. actually will update for this. So it's a bit delayed for this predefined TA screens, but it's actually much faster, for this. Okay, there's Davey asking, how can I see my records on all my previous purchases, selling and dividends for particular stocks? Okay, so this is not related to screener, but I will still answer for that. So basically, when you're using the new version of shareinvest.com, the portfolio, what you see in the portfolio in this new version and a previous version, they are synchronized. So what you see here is the same as what you have previously. So all the transactions, your previous purchase is under these transactions over here. So you can see your transaction records over here. And then your dividends records as well under this dividend, records over here. And then you can add dividends as well, to manage for that. We do have a previous webinar talk about the portfolio. So you can check out the previous webinars. And my colleagues have actually posted on the chat, where do you access the previous webinar under the blog. Okay, let me see any questions. Can you benchmark a stock with indices? So you're talking about the performance of stock with the indices. For this, right, basically is you can do comparison, but at the same time, if let's say the stock is into your watch list, right, so you can actually do in the portfolio, you can do comparisons into performance, the stock performance together with the indices, which we shared previously under this index comparison charts as well. So you can see that under your portfolio, is your stock outperforming or actually underperforming compared to the index actually you are tracking. So you can track based on a few key indexes in the market as well. There's someone asking that you have three models of intrinsic value calculator, which and when to use each of this. So just now I briefly shared that if let's say is I mean there's a often it's quite popular, right? So for example, actually for discounted dividends models over here, which is the Gordon Growth model. So it's actually mostly for dividends. So you can see that actually it's actually mostly for dividend stocks. So you can see that the model is calculating intrinsic value of stock, which give out regular and growing dividends. So this model is actually more suitable actually for that. And if let's say it's actually for earnings, so you can actually check out. So for some company who actually focus more on earnings, right, which is more important in terms of growth of earnings, you can actually use this model. But if let's say some company actually, cash might not be, like just now I mentioned about the banking sectors, because of the cash, they all have to lend out, to make cash, the earnings. In this case, the discounted earning cash model might not be so appropriate. So again, for all these models, I think you need to seek more professional financial advice and then how to use them as well. Why do you get discount rate for this intrinsic value? So discount rate, as we share, is actually you can adjust for that, but it's actually the risk-free rate, So this is the default actually we have, but you can actually change it, based on what you think is actually appropriate, and if you want to be more aggressive or not. Okay, see. Jane Johnson is saying, I noticed the intrinsic value of most shares overvalued for the 10-year period. I compare the results with other platforms for the intrinsic value in share investors are more stringent. Is that what I understand? Okay, so as I share, so for this intrinsic value calculators, you have to actually, use your own assumptions. So what we have here might not represent actually, what you are looking for. So you can actually adjust, based on the discount rate, the growth rate, to fit into your risk appetite, because different people have a different kind of risk appetite. Some people might assume that this company, I believe that it can continue to grow at this rate, continue to be fantastic in the next 10 years. And by all means, actually, you can try that. But some people, based on risk appetite, they are a bit more conservative and they don't want to be so aggressive in terms of their projections and assumptions. It might be a bit different, for that. Okay. Let me see, is there any other questions? Is there any revenue percentage allocation for which country? I assume this is asking about, let's say, a company like Apple, how many revenues come from which country? I don't think we have that numbers, at the moment. But I would be interesting actually to see that, how can we incorporate this? YHM say how to choose which model, so I already answer for that. Okay, share buyback data. So this basically is under here, company buyback. There's someone asking about share buyback. It's not really to do a screener, but you can actually check, the company buyback information is over here. So which company, has a share buyback, and most significant. And you can check individual company as well. Is there any share buyback, like for example, OCBC, right? So you can check company buyback. So you can see that, oh, the company buyback histories in the past, the individual transactions is also listed over here. Uh, okay. Any option to sort the return results, accordingly. So right now, actually, we are still working on some of those sortings. But one thing you can do, right, is you can actually have the screening results, and then you can actually add into your watch list. And in this case, actually, it's much easier in terms of what you can do. So let me share with you the folio watch list. So adding into your watch list. Then you can actually do some sortings, in terms of this. And you can also even use some custom columns as well, which we have shared previously. So these are potential company you're looking for, and then you can actually use the custom layouts. So we have quite a lot of filters, fields actually for you to use. And then based on that, you can actually further sort your stocks from there. Okay, we'll be able to conduct lessons on the intrinsic value calculation. So right now, actually, our webinar series is mostly focusing on how do you guys use the platform. But in terms of actually more deeper financial knowledge or those, in future, we will actually, collaborate with some of those educators, financial bloggers out there to give you guys, more educations in terms of understanding of all these informations. So hopefully that they'll give you more values on that. So I think I answers the questions over here. Okay, there's one more question under the Phyllis. How often do you update consensus estimate? So for consensus estimate, I shared previously during the webinar. Basically, every day, we will actually pull the data from our provider called FactSet. If there's any update from them, we'll update on daily basis. But most of the company, when they, will revise, why research analyst will revise their research ratings or target price is usually because there's a major financial events happens. That, for example, maybe they release the financial results. And that's why actually they want to, put different kind of ratings to it, or they can decide whether to adjust in terms of target price for that. So FactSet, our provider will capture for that and pass to us on daily basis, and we'll update for that. So I think I have come to the ends of the session. I have answered all the questions. So for those of you guys, who have further questions on this, you can reach out to us. You can email us at admin.shareinvestor.com, or actually you can call us as well on our hotline. And at the same time, for those members who are not Shareinvestor members, you can actually sign up for the free trials. But before I end, so just want to quickly share, more things. Okay, so for the members, just want to make announcement and sharing. For the membership plans, so previously we call it Web Pro and Station. So let's slight change the names. So to keep up your time, so Shareinvestor Web Pro will be renamed as Pro. So you have iPhone Pro, all those. So a lot of platforms that use adopting this name. And Premiums is actually the one that we have the stations. So for premium users, you can use the Pro. At the same time, you are able to download the station software. So there's some station members who have not using the platform. You can check out the shareinvestor.com. It's a mobile responsive. You can use in any kind of mobile devices you have. But other things actually remain the same. So just the name change for the plans. And I know that some members actually, they need a bit more time to learn about new platforms and they want to switch back to the classic the versions, especially when the market is moving, to quickly find some information. This is how you do it. You can go to the existing, shareinvestor.com. On the top right corner, let's say switch to classic. You can actually click on that. Or you can go to directly the classic.shareinvestor.com. And I know that some members actually call us saying that they cannot find this switch to classic buttons. So after I realized actually because they zoom in the browsers, so once you zoom in, it becomes mobile responsive. So it will have this view. Or if let's say you are using a mobile phone, how do you switch is you click on this three dash line over here, the menu buttons, that it will show this drop down, which allows you to switch to classic over there. So with this, I've come to the end. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. I hope that you have a good day. Thank you.